Nagbabalik po ang Vanguard Radio Network Special Report. Dr. Anthony Leachon. Sir, good morning po. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Jen. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat, sa mga nakikinig sa inyong programa. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Sir, kamusta na po? I'll go straight to the point. Kayo po ang very hot topic ngayon. Were you removed by the President himself? Or is it because ito po ay sa Tagalog, pagsusulsol ni Secretary Roque at ni Secretary Duque?
Yun po yung sabi sa akin ni Secretary Galvez during our exit interview na hindi daw nagustuhan ni Secretary Roque at ni Secretary Duque ang paglabas-labas ko sa social media at sa mga interviews. So, yun daw ang reason kung ba't nila ako tinatanggal. At sa pag-leak daw ng mga information na confidential, wala naman ho ako nilileak kasi ang data po ng IATF ay hiwalay po sa National Task Force. So, hindi ko malaman kung saan ho nang gagaling yung ganon. At hindi ko rin ho alam bakit to. There's an organized measure from the palace to malign me. Wala na, isang ordinary citizen lang naman po ako. At ako'y nananahimik na. Napaalis na nga po ako eh. So, hindi ko na ho alam bakit to. Ganito ang nangyayari po ngayon.
Those are very strong words, Doc Anthony. Organized measures from the palace to malign you. Sa isang banda, sir, kayo po ay naging very vocal kasi po dahil sinasabi nyo nga yung mga nakikita nyo, napapansin yung problema. Let's take for example yung communication, yung streamlining ng communication. You mentioned before in our previous interview na there's a problem in terms of really not just filtering but streamlining the communication pagdating po dito sa pandemic ng yung brought about by the COVID-19. Ano po naging issue dito, sir?
Ang tingin ko ho on a daily basis, dapat straightforward, open and transparent yung paglalahad mo ng datos ho tungkol sa COVID crisis. Kasi magkamali ka niyan, millions of people will die. That's the number one problem there. And then hindi siya real-time and granular data. Mapapansin mo meron pa ring fresh at saka late cases. Tayo lang sa buong mundo ang nagkakaroon ng ganyang klaseng reporting. So doon ako unang nagkaroon ng problema. Number two, yun hong prioritization ng dapat gawin. For example, yung testing center natin na naipangako natin na dapat 30,000 yan sa May 30 hanggang ngayon 10,000 pa lang. Hindi pa natin ho na kakaroon ho tayo ng mga isolation and quarantine areas po sa mga LGU natin. At yung execution ng plans natin na ginagawa instead ng Department of Health, ang gumagawa naman ngayon ay si Secretary Galvez. And gusto ko rin sabihin, Jen, ang pagkakataong to, itong mga sinabi ko, sinusugan naman po ng Ombudsman. Nag-file po si Samuel Martires, Ombudsman, ng mga kaso din po para po sa Department of Health. At I think one of the things na diniscuss niya dito ay yung mga late at saka data na pine-present to the detriment of the public kasi it would mean lives na namamatay. Correct. And then number two, ang sinabi din niya, yung ating late na pag-respond na kinamatay ng mga doktor. So bakit namatay yung mga doktor? Ano bang ginawa ng health agency para doon? At ang number three, kine-question ni Secretary Justice Samuel Martires yung mga procurement deals na ginawa ng ahensya tungkol sa PPE.
So, sabi niya, Doc, ito ba yung sa Sansure Biotech?
Hindi ko nakita yung data.
Kasi po meron may mga nababali-balita.
Para hindi tayo magkaroon ng problema, ang sinabi niya, headline to kahapon Ombudsman Samuel Martires has ordered the investigation of DOH Secretary Francisco Duque III and other DOH officials alleged anomalies in the response to the coronavirus pandemic. And these are the specifics po. Specifically, he would like to handle the delayed procurement of the PPE, other medical gear needed by the healthcare workers, and other supposed lapses and irregularities that led to the death or infection of several frontliners,
Bigat po yun.
including doctors, and the DOH supposed inaction in the processing and release of financial assistance and other benefits to the fallen and infected medical frontliners, as well as the confusing, delayed reporting of COVID-related deaths and confirmed cases. Yun ho yung kanyang allegation po.
And are you participating in any way as a witness, Doc Anthony?
Well, if I will be given the opportunity at ako'y i-invitein, papayag po ako, lalo na dun ho sa data management kasi ang heart and soul ng lahat ng ginagawa natin ay naka-anchor po sa correct data management. Wala tayong tamang area classification on quarantine and interventions na magiging fruitful pag hindi ho natin to in-address. Kasi lahat ng decision ng government will be dependent ho on correct, timely, and credible data.
Tama po
Yun
yun.
ho ang sinasabi ni Ombudsman Samuel Martires po.
Correct. Doc Anthony, yung pong role nyo as an advisor, you think as an advisor, Doc Anthony, the President just want to, ang role nyo po ba is magbigay lang ng gustong marinig, ng what the President wants to hear? Or is it a also yung grim data, ika nga po? Kasi it is what it is.
As an advisor, nung kinuha ako ni Secretary Galvez, klaro yan eh. In fact, ayaw nga akong kunin ni Secretary Duque from the very start. Inamin niya ho sa akin yon with Secretary Lorenzana. Ang sabi nila sa akin,
Bakit po kaya, sir?
We want a person with divergent opinion. And that's the reason why kinuha ako. My views kasi may not be aligned with the proper communication process natin. Ang tingin ko lang po, as also the government, we should not be holding information, particularly on health status. Because at the end of the day, lives of people will be jeopardized pag hindi tayo nagsabi ho ng tama. And then the second problem ay yung proseso, the churning out of data out of the health agency will be able to help the IATF to decide which particular geographic areas will be ECQ, MECQ, GCQ, or MCGCQ. Now, pagka nagkamali ka ng data because of the timeliness, then there are certain areas na pwede mong luwagan, yung pala naglabasan sila, yung pala may epidemic doon. So that's a problem na nakikita ko.
Medyo nakakalito nga po yun, Doc. Pero, Doc, last 2 questions na lang po. Ano naman ang kinalaman ni Secretary Roque?
Well, to tell you honestly, I don't know. But we had a past. During the height of the Deng Baksha case, he was in Congress doon and he gagged me not to talk. Hindi niya ako pinagsalita with Dr. Tony Dance. And hindi ko maintindihan bakit. And he was also responsible also to block Secretary Ubial as a health secretary. And hindi ko rin alam ang motivation niya to do that. But it was related to the Deng Baksha story na several times. So hanggang ngayon, do nag-patch up na kami sa universal healthcare, hindi ko alam why the headline ngayon kasama ako sa headline ng Philippine Star.
Oo nga po Doc You're giving him too much credit now, Doc Tony.
In fact, he's giving me too much credit. Because he is the presidential spokesperson. Hindi naman niya kailangan ng bigyan ng credit because he holds the mic He holds the national mic Why is he giving me too much credit as well? And then, wala na naman ako sa government. Why for a single day when you have other cases, he went around all media stations trying to malign me? Hindi ko maintindihan. I'm out of the government. I'm a private citizen. I am nobody. I don't
Ah,
have any
I will
position.
debunk that, Doc Tony, kung alam lang po ng publiko kung ano yung mga ginagawa nyo at yung mga ginawa nyo before for the sake of our public health system. At I'm sure marami po kayo magagawa. But if you were the Secretary of Health, Doc Tony, ano po ang gagawin nyo things, differently?
Well, I will regroup and meet all my undersecretaries. I will tell them, guys, we have a situation here. We will be investigated by the Ombudsman, number one. Number two, nag-escalate na sa Central Visayas at saka Eastern Visayas. I want you all to act with sense of urgency. All right? So you have all USEC. We will divide the group into one. Okay, number one, this group, siyam kayo, you'll be in charge of data management. Dapat accurate. I give you 1 week to correct that. Number two, this group, tatlo kayong USEC, you bring the medical supplies already to the countryside kung saan nangangailangan because of an epidemic. Etong grupong to, number three, you enlist all the private sector, the best and the brightest, and form a guiding coalition and do a strategic in the next 3 months. Because apparently, the way we do things, hindi natin nakokontrol ng epidemic.
Mhm.
So perhaps we need somebody or group of people, the best and the brightest, tawagin ng mga TOIM awardees, tawagin yung mga president ng medical societies, mga professor, mga UP, UST, yan. Kasi mahirap niyan, if you're just talking to yourself, nagkakaroon ka ng echo chamber.
Mhm.
And sometimes you would like to know the opinion of other people. Let's call all the secretaries of health in the past, the deans of the colleges. Now, let's meet. Kung ano maging decision nun, hindi ka naman may blame for not calling the best and the brightest because you will carry out their suggestions.
Mhm.
And then give them timelines and then report to the public. Eto, Mr. President, the whole country na tumutulong. Eto na yon.
Mhm.
Oh, wag lang natin isama si Dr. Leachon dyan. At baka makagulo yan.
Doc Tony, I think I'm sure meron pa po kayong your day is full. Maraming salamat po for giving us a couple of minutes of your time. We will definitely watch out for the ombudsman's investigation rather. And of course, meron po kayong Facebook page, tama po ba? So that the public can
Yan,
see and
every day 9 o'clock I have also Twitter.
oh, there you go.
So invite your televiewers na to follow me on Twitter and Facebook so that
What is that,
hindi
Doc Tony?
doon ang di-discuss natin problem solving.
Mhm.
Problem solving na perhaps baka naman may mga decision makers tayo na will take it
They can contribute.
nicely like si Secretary Anyo.
Mhm.
Then tingnan natin.
Sige pa. So that's on Twitter they can follow you. Ano pong Twitter account ninyo? Doc Tony Leachon?
Dr. Tony Leachon. And
Dr.
then
Tony
ganun din sa
Leachon.
Facebook, Dr. Tony Leachon public page. Meron akong Facebook live na dinidiscuss ko on how to dissect the problem on COVID crisis.
All right.
I research every day. I sleep around 3 o'clock in the morning crunching data so that we'll be able to help the country.
There you go. Doc Tony, of course, as always, ang airwaves po ng Vanguard Radio Network is always open for you. Thank you very much, Doc Tony, and God bless you. Sana po hindi ito ulit ang ating last na pag-uusap. And if you have any updates, please let us know so that we can always update our listeners and viewers. Thank you very much, Doc Tony.
Thank you.
Thank you.